Hey everyone, Sawmill Charlie. Well, welcome to another Friday night show, and we're going to have a special guest come on, Michael, from the the technical bee smoker inventor, and he's backstage right now. I see you, Mike, and I just wanted to bring him on tonight. It is a go when it comes to getting these new machines manufactured. So let's go ahead and bring Mike on into the room. And there he is.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. Very good, Michael. Welcome to the show. And I see by the internet that you've met your financial goal as far as getting ready to, I guess, to buy the molds and get all that other manufacturing process started.
Absolutely. Yeah. My main goal behind the crowdfund was just to be able to do the injection molding so that I can make these out of actual commercial plastic, which we were able to hit that goal, which is amazing.
Yeah, I think it was actually within first 12 hours you were able to hit that goal, which I'm sure that was amazing in itself. I think in most cases.
I think it actually was 19 minutes to hit the first goal, and then so it was really, really quick, which is amazing. I think a lot of it goes back to just the beekeeping community and how great they've been.
Well, tell us about, I mean, for the ones that don't know, I know that you've been working on this that I know of, at least going on about 2 years in the development stages, both in the the form factor of the hand gun, you might say, and then also I know through Michael 21st Bees is one of your
beta testers. Yeah.
What's that?
Beta testers. Yeah.
Beta
He helped the beta tester.
Beta tester along with Todd, checking out the different types of fluids in order to what does the best as far as moving the bees out of the way and that kind of thing. And it's been finally got to that end process of choosing the right liquid for the vaporization part, and then getting your, like the hand grip, to make it comfortable and just being able to pull the trigger and stuff like that. To
your first question, I started about 6 years ago. So I got back into just beekeeping myself. I'm a second generation beekeeper. Got back into it about 6 years ago, and I would say 5 years ago I started playing around with different types of devices. Like this is a meat smoker off of Amazon, and I just figured to myself, like, why are we using the traditional smoker where it's dangerous to put down? I'm embarrassed to say this. I put it down on a nuke, just not thinking a plastic nuke, and it started to melt through. And I thought to myself, geez, like why are we still using such a hot, dangerous device? And so I ended up going on Amazon, finding this, which was a meat smoker, making the wands shorter so that I could put combustion materials and smoke the bees with it. And it worked really well, actually. I worked with it for about a year with my bees. You can kind of see all the tar and everything on there. But then I started to get hot, and I thought, I could never put this like on my body to be able to keep track of where it is. And so I started playing with different vaporization devices. And this is an embarrassing prototype, but I basically thought to myself, can I make something that's, able to do like a smoke, type of thing. And I tried out like a fog machine with the bees just to see how they'd react, just with vegetable glycerin, and found out that bees don't actually react to the visual aspect of smoke. They don't react to the sight of smoke. They react to the smell. And so I started to play around with different smoky smells and even floral smells to distract them. And it's been a long trajectory. You've probably seen this prototype, which is the 5.4, has a small tank, and a lot of beta testers have used this with their bees. It's really nice to be able to use really small pods with it, right? But
I
not real
seen one.
practical.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I seen one video that the guy had that model there with the
yeah,
chip just plug in.
exactly. Yeah. So I designed this one to be sort of a real simple device with the fluid in here. It's just food grade essential oils. And what was interesting is after testing with some beekeepers, also I realized that this could get gunked up. You can kind of see this was used by a commercial beekeeper with propolis on,
Mhm.
and this trigger could get gunked up, and then all of a sudden it would just keep running, keep running, keep running. And I thought, oh, that's not going to be good, right? So I ended up designing this to be made out of silicone, um, and also embedded it such that you can't get anything in here that would gunk it up and keep it running. So anyway, long story short, this is what I ended up building, which is a larger tank. This does about 115 hive inspections. It's magnetic, where you just put it on and everybody just push a button. And then it has a tank. It has a drill battery. This is an M12 Milwaukee drill battery, so that you can just change out the battery.
Is that a Milwaukee M12 battery? I think it is.
It is, yeah. It's Milwaukee M12, and you can change it out to be one where where you can just sit it on the frames and that kind of thing, so that it's really
And
easy
I
to
was looking at my brother's battery this today. Now that battery seems to have a pretty good footprint on the bottom, where his was, I'll say, smaller, more
Yeah.
rounded type. So is that with the
Yeah,
battery?
they have the two different kinds, right? And,
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, the one in your
smaller.
hand there was the one I seen. So what's the recommended amp hours? I guess like your vaporizers, you had to have at least a 6 amp hour battery to be efficient with it. Is there a minimum amp hour battery for those Milwaukee?
These
12?
are all 12 volt, and this one, for example, is 6 amp hours, which runs for a good amount of time. I know some of these also, these are obviously, so this is a CP battery and this is an XC battery. The CP battery is lighter, so that you just put it onto a mount, and it goes on your belt, right?
Right.
And it makes it real easy. You can do the same thing with the other one. I don't want to sound too salesy or anything, but the belt mount.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm looking at. I know that your units don't come with a battery, and I'm like, okay, Black Friday's around the corner, and better deals on battery chargers, battery packs, and stuff like that locally. And
I'm selling the specials with just basically this, right? So it's just the fuel. It comes with fuel, a coil inside of there, and then the smoker itself, and then you can actually add on either a CP or an XC battery. Meaning, I actually sell these also, but if you want to buy them from Amazon or hardware store.
Yeah, I know. I talked to one of the other beta testers, Todd, and I said I didn't actually, when I purchased the basic model there. I didn't see that add-on areas.
Yeah, Kickstarter is a little confusing. It's hard to see the add-ons and things like that. But yeah, there's a little add-on where you can actually add on the batteries if you want to. I kind of made it that way because a lot of people said, oh yeah, I already have M12 batteries, just keep the device cheap. And so the best way to keep it cheap is to not have to sell stuff that you already have sitting in your garage, right?
Right.
So yeah, you can add on like one of these battery charger on the Kickstarter itself. But if you don't want to, you can just buy these, and then you can just go to Amazon, Alibaba, or AliExpress or Home Depot and buy it there, and it's it's pretty much the same price.
Is it necessary to buy? I mean, I think Todd was also saying he bought an extra tank, I guess you would say. Does that have the heater coil in there, or is that separate too?
It has the heater coil with it, yeah. So I sell the tank with the heater coil, and these are. I actually originally built this where it was flat, and I started to realize when I'm working the bees, I oftentimes will crack the inner cover, and I'll put the nozzle of the smoker in there, in order to give them a quick puff. And when this was flat, it didn't, it was kind of hard to do that. So I ended up putting a nozzle on here too. So this just screws on, with a coil in here, so that, you just, I'll show you the back of it. So you can see there's magnets and then a place where, where it makes contact. And then, like I say, you just put a new coil in there. Like I'm trying to get it to a point where it's just like once a season, but I'm still trying to figure out how long the coil will last, depending on how often you use it. Obviously, commercial beekeeper is going to be using this every day. Going to go through coil faster than somebody's a backyard beekeeper. But I designed it with. It's probably more detailed than you care to know, but I designed it with a ceramic coil because they last 3 times as long, and then using a cotton wick, and so the cotton wicks will wear out faster than the ceramic coils, and so I designed it that way to be longer
with that
lasting.
unit there, you can fill your tank up. You don't have to worry about wetting the coil or anything like that. It just goes to work.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So it works out well because it's always kind of making contact with the fluid, and a lot of people ask, is it refillable? So it just has this on top where you can, like a squirt gun, you can just refill it in the top.
Well, the fluid comes in another container, obviously, right?
Yeah, I've got just like just something like this where you.
Okay, so that way you just open it up and squirt it in the hole.
Yep, okay. Exactly. Yeah, so it's pretty simple. Like I say, when I started working the bees again, I just kind of felt like, this looks simple, but when you think about how much stuff you got to keep around, like dry, pine needles or whatever in a baggie, and then you've got the, you got like a torch.
Yeah, you got that.
Torch.
Like for me, I have a torch and all that. And my problem is I got to drag the torch and the smoker in order to keep the smoker lit 3/4 of the time.
Yeah, and then maybe a bucket to put it in so it doesn't hit the ground. And then you've got also, maybe a fire, like a smoking case, for afterwards. And, it's just like, well, why not just, grab a device and go out there and smoke your bees and be done with it.
I know I went ahead and ordered the unit, the basic unit. If I wanted the batteries, can I go back into that?
You can add on
program and then update my order.
Yeah, you can just go back in and add them if you want, or like I said, I've also put onto the comments where you can get them from Amazon if you'd rather just get them from Amazon. But it's pretty straightforward, and it's like I say, I'm not trying to make huge money on the batteries or the even the fuel. The fuel lasts for 115 hive inspections with this, so it's it's not like something you're gonna
I might want to buy an extra bottle of smoke fuel.
Mm-hmm.
That would be always handy to have. You always have something in the back, in the cabinet ready to go when you need it.
Yep. Yeah, it's always good to have a little bit extra.
Now we had one question here. Tom just was asking, did you develop different formulas of smoke fuel? I know you had 4 different ones on the beta testing. So did you just choose one out of the 4 and just go with that one formula?
Yeah, I'm still beta testing, but right now I'm basically taking the best of the 4 and then conglomerating them into 4 different versions that I'm kind of testing against each other again. But as far as that goes, I call it kind of an inspection formulation. So it uses essential oils that just smell like flowers and also like a smoky smell. So I'm mixing different ingredients of essential oils to try to get the right response from the bees. And as far as that goes, I'll throw into the chat if I can.
And then Todd wants to know, will there be a DeWalt battery version?
Currently I have a adapter that I should say I'm testing with an adapter to try to get it to it currently works, but it's bulky, to be honest. Just because it's 20 volts battery is pretty heavy. That being said, it works. I will in time, I think, build I'll either build a complete version that's just for DeWalt, or I'll build an adapter that's more streamlined that can go in here to convert to DeWalt. I'm not sure yet which one I want to do. What do you guys think? What do you like?
Yeah. No, I just now the batteries that you're selling, are they Milwaukee batteries, I presume?
Yeah. They're Milwaukee M12 compatible. So they're not actually from Milwaukee. They're compatible batteries. Yeah.
Okay. Now
So you can use Milwaukee if you'd rather.
Right. Let's go back to here. So if somebody's in the chat here tonight that wants to go ahead and pre-order one of your units, smokers, have you got a link that you can put in the chat box?
Yeah, let me throw a couple in there.
Not sure whether or not you can put that link in or not.
Let's see.
You might have to text it or
I can text it to you if you'd rather.
Or just send it to me through Messenger.
Okay.
And I can put it in the chat box.
Sure. Let's see here. Let's see if I can put it in here directly. Let's see. That's what it is. All right. Are you able to see that? Looks like a private chat.
In the private chat? Let me see. Okay.
I could probably put it in the comments. Let's see.
Yeah, there. I got it.
Okay.
Let me see if I can copy it. I'll put it in the there's the link. I'll pin it to the top for now. And
add to it.
there it is right there. Anybody wants to go to that link, that will take you to Kickstart. And let me go there. I'll just kind of give an overview. So everybody can get an early bird special, correct?
Yeah, so it's currently the super early bird special, and then there's also a very important beekeeper special. So depending on whether you signed up for the very important beekeeper club, and then the super early bird special is going to last for I think another few days, and then it'll go to the next special, which is slightly less enticing. It's just kind of how.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. We got the super early bird special. Let me see if I can't bring this up. Do some sharing here. Presentation. Share screen. Share. Let's go there. Okay, here we are right here. Let me see if I can get this to work. All right, so the first one is the super early bird special, which is $175. I think also plus $10 for shipping.
Yeah. So yeah. Each additional thing has a slight, like the battery, I think has an extra $2 to $3 of shipping and that type of thing. Just
so
yeah.
So you're saying the super early bird special will be on for a few more days?
Yep. Yeah. So a few more days to get that one, and then, like I said, it'll move to the next special. I'd have to look up what the next one is, but yeah, the
next one's the
better to get in early.
Kickstarter.
Kickstarter. Yeah.
That's That's 212, 211. I mean, and then you also have a 2-pack if somebody wants 2 of them.
Yep. Yeah, there's a 2-pack as well and a 4-pack. Yeah, depending on how many you want. And then and then like you said, you can have add-ons that you add on to that, which is like the belt clip, and then also there's a case that looks like this that I've been using with the beta testers. So
yeah, let me get rid of that on. Let me remove this. Bring that case back up, Mike.
Yeah. That's what it looks like.
That's a case that you can as an option.
Yeah, you can just do that as an option where you have a case that you can put your smoker into, and it's just an easy way to bring it out to the yard. It's actually a gun case, but it's also got a little lock that you can put into a lock hole where you can put.
Well, you don't want to throw your smoker thing around too much either, and all that kind of stuff. But I'll have to go back and log back into I presume, back into the program, and let's see, back into Kickstart, and then I can go to where I signed in, and then maybe add some add-ons to it, hopefully.
Right.
And
you can go back in and add them in. Here, I'll put in the private chat also. You had asked about some of the results we're getting with the beta testers. So this is just a link that you can look at and check out some of the recent results that I had with one of the beekeepers. So what we do is we try to see what we call it a frame return rate, where they smoke the bees with a traditional smoker, and then on different days they try different samples to see how it pushes the bees down, and then how quickly the bees come back up within 90 seconds. And the idea behind it is to test out how well that the formulation is working. And so
here's the next link. It's on there. That is it's a video in it.
It's a video. Yeah, you can.
Video shows how much smoke versus how much your vaporizer smoke generator, how fast it can push the bees down, basically.
Yep. Yeah, the goal is to see them be pushed down into the frames, and then how quickly that they come back up. And that just kind of shows a quick summary of it. And I think it's kind of nice to be able to see things, side by side and how they work.
Right. Okay. Well, that's cool. All right. Well, how about we go ahead and we'll open up the chat. Anybody wants to come in, and remove that. I'm going to go unpin the last one. And let's see. We'll do a copy. All right. And there's the link to come into the chat. Anybody would like to come in? I asked Michael more in-depth questions and all that. So basically for add-ons, you got your case, you got a additional fuel, additional tank, which actually is part of the heating cool, I'll call it.
Yep. Yeah.
And then you actually have alternative batteries that you can buy for your unit, and all that. So.
Yeah, and then also the belt clip, so that you can clip it onto your belt if you want to. Actually, the belt clip I'll end up, the most recent one that I've built is just, it looks like this, and it just basically goes onto your belt, and then you can clip this onto your belt magnetically, right? Which makes for an easy way to be able to find your smoker when you're out in the field.
Or for me, I'll maybe put it in my pocket or something like that.
Yeah, you could do that as well. Or if you have a bee jacket, you can just put it in the jacket pocket or something like that. Yeah. Or if you have a magnet that you use the hive tool for?
Yeah, I tried the magnet for the hive tool, but it's either the magnet's too strong or it's too weak,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of stuff and all that.
Yeah, I tend to use it, but yeah, when I go back to my car, the magnet ends up pulling out of the car, and then it ends up being a little bit of a problem from that perspective.
Yeah, here comes Joey. Joey, you there?
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Hey, Joey.
Hey, Joey, how's it going?
How y'all doing?
Nice to see you again.
Looking good there, Michael.
Oh, thanks, Joey. Appreciate it.
Lining up for you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. It's been a long period of building it. And to be honest, when I started out, I built the first prototypes. I don't think I have them here, but the real early prototypes, I remember, I showed them to a few friends because I wanted to make sure I patented it first, and ones that were beekeepers. And it was kind of a hard time to build it in isolation, right? And it's really cool to have so many people being able to help me with different testing with their bees and that kind of thing.
So it's been patent, and see, what was it I was going to ask you?
Yeah, you can see the patent.
When you figure the final build or the shipment to your backers will be delivered, what's your prospect on that as far as delivery time?
So yeah, my intention is to send out the first production run in early May. If you go onto the Kickstarter, there's actually like a chart that sort of shows when I'm going to be. So I'm right now building out the injection molding, and after that, then the next step is to test the T1s, meaning like I'll get the T1 prototypes from that have been built with the injection molding, and I can test them and kind of see how robust they are and everything. And it typically goes to T2 and T3 before you really kind of dial in things right, and then I can start really testing to make sure that it meets quality standards.
Right. Let's see here. Here comes another beta tester in.
Okay, Michael. I got a question before I forget.
What's that?
All right, I did mine last night. I went on and ordered it.
Oh, cool. Thank you, Joe.
How long do I have to make any adjustments if I want to add on? Once the early bird goes away, will I still be able to go back on there and add anything to that?
Yeah, that should be fine. And the campaign's going until basically Thanksgiving. You can add on, and if you have any problems, just ping me. Yeah.
Now you have to log in to do that, right? You don't.
Yeah, you have to get a login for Kickstarter, and I know Kickstarter is not always the easiest platform, especially
Well, that's the first time I'd ever used it was yesterday.
Yeah.
whenever that was.
Well, you have to set up an account in order to order the product. So once you do that, you got an account.
Yeah.
So,
I said that to my wife one day. I'm like, hey, have you ever bought anything from Kickstarter? And she's like, no, never in my life. I'm like,
I've never even heard of it.
Yeah.
Me either.
It's a good way to get the funding, just to be able to, before you actually build the thing, just because otherwise it's a little cumbersome to say, hey, I'm going to build this, and you pay me now, and I give it to you in 6 months. The Kickstarter makes for like a really nice way that you can kind of see the progression and make sure that everything's going right.
Are they better than, what do you call it, GoFundMe type page?
There's GoFundMe, and then there's also Indiegogo. Indiegogo is a crowdfunding campaign, whereas GoFundMe is more like you don't actually get anything for the funding. It's more like, for example, my sister-in-law, she had brain cancer, and they did a GoFundMe for that, where you don't expect anything in return. You're just basically giving somebody money because you feel bad.
So this Kickstarter is more for the inventor type thing.
Yeah, it's more for an inventor that, there's a lot of costs that go up, pretty quickly with, building out the tooling and all those things. And so it helps to be able to fund it rather than everything I've been doing so far has been just out of my own seed money, right out of my own pocket. So it gets pretty expensive pretty quick. I think, Mike, you've probably been through that process before, right?
Oh yeah, hundreds and hundreds of thousands at a time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, as far as I know, right now we're doing a direct sales. As I would call it, is in the future. Is it going to be pretty much direct sales, or are you going to have bee supply houses sell it for you?
Yeah. So the next stage will be it goes into what's called a late pledge, which is it'll be progressively more, because obviously the best price right now for the super early bird is because you're waiting for those months before you actually get the product. But I'll end up switching it into what's called late pledges, and then after late pledges on Kickstarter, I'll actually just go to a Shopify site. So I'll build out a Shopify site where you can just go and buy it directly, and it'll be more like an Amazon type of deal where you buy it and you get it a few days later. Gotcha. That way, it's more of just what you'd call e-commerce, right? Where you just go on, you buy it, you get it. And like you say, I'll start working with dealers and distributors. So the thing that shocked me the most, I think, is I actually have had a lot of people that are actually international that are actually shipping it to either a friend, or they're even using a service to be able to ship it to a service that ships it to them, which is, to me, that's really cool, but it's shocking that they're going through so many hoops to get it. But especially like Australia and some of the places it's really arid, like right now they're starting to have smoker bans, like fire bans, being able to,
like
Todd, that one. Yeah.
Todd's out in California, and he has a fire hazard type of area of the country.
That's that's the only reason I came on. First of all, I wanted to say congratulations, Michael. I saw the units or the people pledging. That's awesome. I knew this was going to be a big thing when I first saw it. And you and I had a discussion about what I was thinking in my head way back in the COVID days when I had nothing to do. And so it's something similar to this. I'm so glad that you brought it out, available to everybody. I just wanted to add this. I've got chicken on the grill, so I have to get back to it. But and I'm barbecuing in the rain, by the way. It's raining. So you guys back east, in a couple, 3 days, I'll have some type of weather. I don't know what. But if there's anybody watching tonight or anybody watching this replay in the next week or 2 or 5 weeks, if you have bees and grass that's dead, you need this. I'm not kidding you. Because there's not a day that goes by when I puff my traditional smoker and pray, and this in the summertime, and pray that I don't have a little tiny ember that shoots out of there onto the grass. One of the big reasons why I have that heavy duty landscaping carpet or material under my beehives is because of that. I mean, it's kind of twofold. I want to make sure that hive beetles don't take hold, but it's 99% because of fire, because I'm scared to death. There's houses around. It'll go up like a tinderbox in like 5 seconds. It'll be 10 acres. So
yeah, the beauty is really, when you think of the competition, right, of a traditional bee smoker during those times, this isn't actually a competitor because you can't use it, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of have to use some other way. And actually, I think a lot of people go without smoke, which is kind of scary.
Well, my big thing is trying to keep the traditional smoker lit, which I have always had a hard time of.
Yeah.
And you listen to people how they do it with pellets and needles and stuff, which I'm sure it works, but I don't need it to last for 6 or 8 hours. Yeah. And like I was just putting on insulation, and I had that little inner cover hole, and I just wanted to push the bees down in there. I only needed a couple seconds of that gun smoke to push them down, where actually, I'm trying to do it either by hand or trying to keep the smoker lit to get them to go down.
It seems like my smoker is always working beautifully. My traditional smoker is always working beautifully, like at the end of my inspection. It's
Yeah.
working.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. Beautiful
I have
smoke.
experienced that a lot. You get through all your bees, and finally the smoker starts to keep.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous. White smoke billowing out of it, and then you're like, oh, I got to put this out now.
Same as the grill. It's working good when you're done.
Yeah, exactly. When you're finally done.
Now,
Yeah,
one thing Charlie brought up. Sorry, Michael. One thing I gotta get moving, and that's why I'm talking fast. I don't want to burn my dinner. Charlie brought up pellets. A lot of guys use pellets, and I hope to heck that there's some type of under that lid of the smoker, there's some type of grill there that keeps those pellets back. Because if there isn't, and you knock that thing over, you drop it over, and you're in tall dead grass, it's game over. Because all it takes is one of those little pellets to roll out of that hole, and you're done. And
yeah, you've got to have something over the pellet.
Yeah, I personally, I put green grass, as much green grass as I could grab and shove it in there because that cools the smoke.
Grass, burlap, something like that.
Yeah.
When I watch your movies, you don't have such things as that out there.
Well, I do right now, but I mean, bee season's over. But anyway, I just wanted to say that I gotta get back to cooking, but yeah, this thing's, I can't wait. I ordered mine. I got all my add-ons yesterday. I bought 2 batteries. I bought a charger. I bought the case because I don't want that thing rolling around in the back of my truck.
I didn't even notice that case. I didn't even see it. For me, I'll put it back in. I'll take it out of the back, the back of the truck. I'll put it on my tailgate. I'll open it up, use it, and then I'll put it back the same way, and then I'll shove it back behind my seat. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly like that. And actually, what's funny is, Todd, we use the foam, right? And what's funny about it is I've gotten these back from commercial guys, and it gets so gunked up that I'm like, this is gross, right? So I'm actually,
I got you up now.
Right now, the prototype I've got is just using pick and pack foam, right? And it's actually kind of funny because it comes back and it's a bit gross, and I'm now trying to figure out how to do like an insert that will be plastic, so you can clean it up with a rag type of thing, so doesn't get gunky, right? But anyway, it's kind of fun to try to figure out how to solve those little problems. But Todd, I actually got a call from a guy in Texas, and he had burnt down 5 acres of his land. It was scary when I saw what happened. And he normally keeps his smoker in a bucket. It was the one time he put it down on the ground, and he said he couldn't stomp it out fast enough before calling 911, which is it's just crazy, man. Like we don't have that so much in Illinois, so I've had that once where I put it down and a ring of fire started, and you can't get around the ring fast enough to get this.
No.
So the foam inserts in your boxes will be pre-cut out to fit all the different parts and stuff. You can put your an extra smoker fuel and your gun and whatever else you need to put in there.
Battery.
I can't wait. I can't wait. So spring can't get here soon enough, and that's not because of the bees. It's because of the smoker. So,
right.
All right, I got to get out here, gentlemen. Nice seeing everybody.
All right.
Tomorrow.
Yep. See you tomorrow, Joey. Take care, guys.
See you, Tom.
Bye. Oh, see you, Tom. I'm sorry about that. Say hi to Melissa.
We don't acknowledge Tom.
He snuck in. All right. See you later.
Hey, Darren.
Tom, you were telling me that story about you have 2 smokers in the back of your truck, and you pulled over before, right? Because people thought your truck was on fire.
Well, Joey set his truck on fire, didn't it? Wasn't it you, Joey?
Oh, did you?
Well, it was about to. It had already had the bed. I got the little cover over it, and when I pulled back up in my driveway, I could smell pine straw burning, and that thing had fell off the little hook, the little loop that it stays on the toolbox. Fell off, and the lid come open, and it was just rolling smoke because it was getting air riding down the road. 2 more miles. If I had 2 more miles to drive, I think my little carpet would have caught on fire.
It's funny.
So there you go.
Just the time.
Hey, Michael.
Yeah, a friend sent me a link to. There's a device that you can put on the back of a smoker. It's a magnet, and then you just attach it to your car, and you drive. You drive with the smoker hanging off of your car. But yeah, I don't think I'd do that personally, but it's kind of a funny ad.
Hey, Michael.
Thanks.
Hey, do you know, have you decided on what kind of material you're going to make the actual unit out of? What kind of plastic? Or are you still playing with stuff?
I'm still playing with it. I'm still trying to figure out which plastic I want to use. It's definitely going to be injection molded, but between ABS and polycarbonate, and there's a few other alternatives right now. But right now, so I've actually hired a company to help me with the design for manufacture, because I don't know that stuff really. And so they've helped me kind of translate it into something that they can build. What do you have any suggestions?
Yes and no. I mean, I was just curious. It's it depends on how your molds are designed and what your price point is and all that kind of good stuff. But your clear tanks, have you all decided? Are you going to shoot those, or are you going to keep printing them?
Shoot them, yeah. So the tank right now is you can see it actually has layer lines that you can't really see them, but it's not truly transparent, right?
Yeah.
And so it'll be like a clear plastic, like you would see on a device that you buy in the store. Mm-hmm. But because it's all 3D printed, it's now that being said, like your idea of using PETG on this. I haven't had a single one of these break since I've been using PETG, 3D printing that. And so probably I could just do that, right? Just have 3D printers running all day long and getting it running. But yeah, my electricity bill would probably be more than the injection molding. But yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Michael, doesn't polycarbonate, isn't that crack easier? Is that a little more fragile, like more break resistant, like if you dropped it to a hard surface?
Yeah, well, go ahead, Mike.
Oh, I forgot there's two of us on here. So
Yeah.
Honestly, either Michael can answer. I feel like you both have some qualification there in this area.
Go ahead, Mike.
It's like it's one of those yes and no's. It's like all other materials. There's different grades and different additives you can do. So a lot of it is how to get the material into your part geometry into a mold.
Okay.
And a lot of that's based off that. So you can do things to overcome issues. It's all based on your design. If you have to have something that flows better as compared to not, and if you adding UV additives, and there's a lot of different factors that can play a lot of different. Make you go on different paths.
Well, don't you just squirt the plastic into the mold and then you're done?
Oh yeah,
it's pressurized, but yeah.
Hey, Charlie,
that's what I'm saying. It pressurizes it and you're done, right? I mean, you're talking about, does it get stuck in corners or something?
Oh no,
Mike, it's in the name, injection molding. So yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah. It's all about your flow paths and your gate placements and your thicknesses and tolerances and temperatures. And then there's injection molding, blow molding, rotomolding. It's a whole. Like some of my stuff, if the temperature, say if the pressures on my stuff gets off 15 psi, my part's trash. If it moves a degree or two, it's warped. I mean, it's so fine. I probably spent $100,000 in equipment I wasn't planning on just to get the material pre-dried and the temperatures being able to fine tune them by like the half degree. They can be a nightmare for sure.
Yeah, it's not what you consider like a traditional mold. Like you put, you pour like something into a mold and then you wait for a few hours and then you open it up, and it's actually pressurized, and it also, like you were saying, the temperature, and you've got a lot of different factors that are really complex. But yeah, as far as that goes, that's part of why I want to build it with that is just to make it as production worthy as possible. I know there's a lot of people that are going to bang these around.
So I'm guessing, does polycarbonate, does that have some UV protection in it automatically, or is that something you would add additionally to the polycarbonate mixture?
That one I don't know. Michael, do you know?
Usually, pretty much all plastics, no plastic has a UV stabilizer in it. It's always an additive, and you can add different levels of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like in my stuff, I actually overkill on it because I'm assuming people are going to have them in solar melters and sitting outside. Like me, I had them outside for a month in the sun because I didn't really care. They were fine, but I've got a whole bunch of food grade UV stabilizer in it. But my base stuff here, nothing has it. My color is the carrier on all my stuff, but you can get it as a carrier where it'll like blend clear too. So you can pretty much add it to anything. You just get
Well,
right.
I feel like if we're thinking out loud, even though the ideal situation would be somebody's not going to take a $200+ vaporizer gun and leave it outside, but in all reality, it may, especially in the commercial aspect, it may spend some days outside if you're working, outside, sitting on top of the hive and moving through, and you're out there multiple hours. So I'm just, I don't know what the cost factor is. It may be like,
oh no,
yeah,
like, well, just if you're going to have like the unit on that magnet clip on the side of your belt, like commercial, even just hobby guys, it's going to be exposed to the sun the whole time you're out there for the most part. But adding UV, it's like pennies a pound. It's not that big a deal.
Well, in polycarbonate, like I said, that's basically what headlights are made from. Isn't that right? Or is there a mixture of different formulas of polycarbonate? I really don't know this.
It's one of those, depends how expensive your car is.
Okay, so mine's junk. I have a Chevy.
Yeah,
So.
Us I have to get the sanding kit out and polish the front of ours and clear them every few years. We're not using the same stuff like Mercedes and BMWs using. So
yeah.
Yeah, to your point too. So this device has a microprocessor in it, inside of the shaft, and one of the things that I'm doing is using conformal coating on it, which just means that they spray like a silicone on top of the board itself, so that if there's any moisture that gets into it, like you say, I know that somebody's going to end up leaving it in the morning dew type of thing, and so I'm trying to find ways to make sure that it's a solid.
So, Michael, is that meaning that it'll be sort of water resistant?
I would say that it'll have some resistance, but it's definitely not waterproof or anything that would be able to resist, let's say, leaving it in the rain. But yeah, I'm trying to make it a bit more resistant to moisture.
So the main print is going to be two halves, right? That you put the components in and it goes together.
Yep. So it looks like this.
Okay. Yeah.
It just goes together, and I've got a screen there for making sure bees don't get into the device, and then a screen on the other side that's small enough that the bees can't get on the other side. And then, like I say, it's got a PCB in there, a controller that hooks up to this is the gunk-proof trigger that I was telling you about, where it's embedded so that the gunk doesn't get into it, and it just has a fan, right?
Yeah.
Just two pieces, right?
So are you going full time with it, or you're going to sit in your garage and you're going to be doing all the assembly in every single one by yourself, or
literally, yeah,
do the easy part of it and you do the electronic part, or?
I've already got some tunes figured out just to sit there and put them together. But I am literally going to put the first production run together myself, which it'll be fun. I mean, I think it's important to do that, just to know each piece of it and make sure that it's good quality, and do QC yourself and that type of thing. Make sure
all of us backers that were he's going to hand assemble each one and sign it.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I'll sign the inside of it. You might not see it, but they'll be signed.
See, so anybody that's in the chat that's interested in doing it, when you have an owner and a guy who is putting it together, you're going to get the highest quality possible. Order them now.
That's what I love about you guys. I don't have to do the demo.
It'll be a sign unit, and it'll be worth thousands of dollars years down.
Oh yeah.
You'll
crack it open in 100 years, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, there's Michael's signature."
I see. Dodd House made his pledge.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, guys.
I was really surprised. So, Michael, when I got the email, I don't remember even what day it was. I'm sure you probably do. I logged on, looked at it, but I was busy, and I just, went on and about my day. And a couple of days later, went back, and I can't remember what day it was. Just a couple of days ago, and I went back, and maybe it was Charlie was mentioning something the other night. Went back on there, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, holy cow. I mean, because originally, I don't remember what the number was. It was small. It's like, I don't know, 1,000 or 2,000. I went back to it. And I'm like, whoa. So I'm like, hey, I hope that all your dreams started to come true as far as crowdfunding, because I'm sure you're going to end up with a mountain of bills and everything from getting your injection die built. Michael has talked to me a little bit about what that cost to source and all that good jazz. So this will help to ease the tensions a little bit and help to keep your wife on your side a little bit, where she doesn't see more money going out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you see the pain on my face. My wife, when I'm showing her the end bill, she's like, how much do you like beekeeping?
Yep.
You should take up golf. That's cheaper. Yeah.
Hey, tell your wife that she can either build with a busy man or babysit a broke one.
That's a good thing.
Right?
Yep. Yeah, but to your point, in all seriousness, to build a quality product, it takes a lot. And honestly, I've tried to squeeze every nickel out of it just to make it cheap enough not cheap enough, but a reasonable price. And like we were talking about with the batteries earlier, make it where you don't have to buy batteries from me. You don't have to, it's just trying to make it so that it's accessible to people. And actually, the more volume that we build, the more accessible it'll be to the beekeeping community. Because when, Michael, this is when you're building, 500 units, nobody wants to talk to you because it's just too small of an order. They're just like 500 units. Why do I bother with you when I can go and get somebody with 3,000 units or more, right? So,
you got an advantage though. Your parts are light, so it'll ship easy.
Yeah, I can actually air freight it if I wanted to. Yeah, because that's the nice part is the plastics are really light. So you don't have a huge shipping cost that comes overseas. So, but I'm going to assemble them all in the U.S. And what I'd like to do is actually get the tool built, and then no promises, but I'd like to actually, almost no place in the U.S. actually builds these tools. It's still China, unfortunately. Won't get into that, but I'd like to get the tool shipped over to the United States so we can.
What are you talking about?
Injection molding here.
The molding?
Yeah, the plastic injection molding, all that stuff's done in Asia.
Yeah, there was Junior here was, let's see, where is it? Right there. Called CMG Plastics.
Okay.
I asked for Glenn LOH, one of the owners and a beekeeper.
You take a screenshot of that.
Maybe Junior, maybe you need to email Michael here and get a phone number or something like that. Or I guess you go to custommoldersgroup.com or CMG. Yeah, I guess it's CMG Plastic. I guess the company name.
Yeah, thanks, Uncle Junior.
That would be, if you're looking for an American-made molding thing.
Yeah. There's a place up in Wisconsin. They're about 40 minutes from me, and I actually sat down with them, and that I talked to them about making the injection molding. They actually said that's cool. We'll just go to China, get it made, and then we'll get it shipped here. And I'm like, well, why would I go to you to get it? Why don't I just go to the Chinese company in that scenario?
That's pretty common. A lot of people here, mold builders that are intricate mold work, they have them done over there by like people we know, and they bring them over, then they upcharge it and then sell it to you, and you never even know it.
Yeah, the reality is there are people in the U.S. that will modify molds, but there's not a whole lot that will build the mold for you, and if they do, it's astronomical.
Yeah, they'll do maintenance work here, but they don't want to be the original builders.
Right.
All right.
Especially for like a 500 unit type thing. I don't mean to get depressing.
Ben, I'll go ahead and post the link to order again for you. Private chat. Let's see.
The bad thing about having people anywhere, but here especially, mold stuff. There's tons of businesses that do molding, and that's like specific. But man, to make it worth their time,
Mhm.
you're talking 5,000 pieces isn't worth their time. You might, minimums might be 10, 15, and you're going to pay a massive premium on that too. I mean,
Mhm.
I couldn't afford to have somebody shoot my parts for me here because, I mean, I would be in the negative just to make it worth their time, and
Yeah.
I'd be ordering
Probably why
40.
you figured it out yourself, right?
Yeah. So it's like, if you don't have the machinery here to do it already, it's hard to find people that want to work with smaller runs that won't just rob you. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, and then you get into the intellectual property issue overseas. You have to make sure that they don't have the whole, the whole solution. Otherwise, it just shows up all of a sudden on Alibaba, right? So yeah.
Yep.
Again, not to get depressing, but like I say, what I'd like to do is once I build the mold, I'll own the mold, and I can get it back to the United States, and we can just make modifications to it, and basically shoot it here in the United States, and that way, because again, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to all the people that I have right now are all in the United States for the crowdfund, and so I'm trying to make it kind of more local, if you will.
Hey, so is your trigger piece, is that an off-the-shelf unit, or is that a separate
Silicone.
mold, or are you doing like in molding process for it?
It's a silicone mold that
Okay.
right now what I've done is just built a mold, poured it in, did all the curing of it. But as far as that's also going to be done overseas, so there's that's got to be built as well.
Are you going to try to do like an additive where it shoots the trigger into like one side of the core, or is it just like a completely separate unit?
I haven't actually. So I identified the company, but I haven't actually talked to them yet. So that's what we're doing right now with the DFM, is kind of figuring out those pieces. That's not my strong suit, unfortunately. That's why I hired the company.
I'm just curious because it's tinkering. I'm just curious how you are looking at it. So
yeah.
So Michael,
I'm sure I'll have a lot of questions for you, Michael.
Sorry,
Michael. Did I understand you say that that's going to have a silicone or a rubberized coating on it? Is that what I understood? On the trigger.
The trigger itself, I ended up building it. I call it a gunk-proof trigger. So when I first built these, they were more like this, where it was just sort of a trigger like you'd see on a normal drill or on a normal product. And I started realizing that the propolis could get in between the trigger and here and stick. And I tested it, and it actually happened. So George from Keeper's Hive was playing around with it when I brought it to a show, and he's like, I bet this is going to gunk up. And I brought it home. I put some wax on it, and I'm like, yeah, it gunks up, and then it just keeps running, right, which is a bad thing. So so I ended up building it using silicone, which doesn't stick. Nothing sticks to that with honey or wax or propolis. And then actually embedded it such that, here, I'll show you. So you can kind of see, here's the silicone piece. And so it actually, so the silicone piece just goes into here so that the trigger never makes contact with it. So you can kind of make sure that it doesn't, no matter how much gunk gets on the outside of the device, it won't go into the device, so that it doesn't stop working or doesn't continually run, right?
Yeah.
that'll help.
It's just one of those small details, right?
Absolutely. Well, it's a small one when you don't think about it up front until after you use it for a while, and then you may start having an issue like that. So I think that almost essentially looks like it makes it somewhat bulletproof.
Yeah, and that's a big piece of it, right? So I've been working with a lot of commercial guys, and you wouldn't believe, like, this thing almost turns black, in certain places. Like the right here gets so much propolis and wax on it, but this area is still bright yellow.
Yeah.
But what they do is they'll wear gloves that have wax and propolis and everything, and they'll grab it, and basically this whole area here gets coated with wax and propolis, and so that's part of it too, is just making sure that we don't end up with a device that becomes non-functional because of all. And the beauty of working with commercial guys is they'll do 300 inspections in a day, right? Where a hobbyist beekeeper, they'll do inspections typically like every 2 weeks, and on 2 hives, 5 hives, whatever. But working with commercial people, that they abuse it and it comes back damaged, and then I'm able to test out what's working, what's not working. That's been the beauty of the beta test program, is I'm able to have people abuse them because they come back. Todd actually, he dropped his on the 3rd or 4th day, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. It broke, and he dropped it on concrete," and I'm like, "No, it shows me where it fractures, right? And I can see where weak points are, right?" And so, I mean, I sent him out a new one, and he was rock and rolling with it. Same thing with the commercial guys. It's really nice to be able to see, what years of abuse would look like, right? And if I was just building this in my garage, I wouldn't know that stuff, right?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me I was supposed to throw it, or I would have tossed it all over the place. I wouldn't try to drop it, but I was just picking up and just chunking it. I mean,
yeah. There's a Mennonite family that helped with testing it, and believe it or not, and the dad said to me, he's like, "Yeah, they always run over their tools," and I said, "Well, you run this over with a tractor, it's not going to last." And he was like, "Yeah, the smoker doesn't either. He's like as flat as a pancake after they run it over." But that's kind of, it happens from time to time, right?
Yeah, I guess your trigger being silicone like that'll help with some of the water resistance too.
Yeah.
Like when I'm working, if I'm just wearing nitrile and pull it off, my hands are like soaking wet and dripping, and I'm grabbing things, so that'll help there too a little bit. Be nice.
Yeah, keeping the moisture out. Like I say, that overcoat molding on the board helps, but then keeping water from getting in here, that's also important, right? And actually, I've sealed this part here so that if anything does drip into this area here, it doesn't end up creating a problem. You probably aren't super interested in it, but it was kind of fun working on this with the airflow, because it uses the Venturi effect, where it's kind of like a Dyson, where it creates a low pressure system inside of the inside of the coil and sucks the air out. Because when you think of most vaporization devices, somebody's sucking on it, right, with their mouth. You're not actually pushing air through it typically. And so, what's that?
It's got good range. One of the times I was on here, I was stacking boxes up and shooting between frames, and it was pushing it through 3 full boxes with no problem. I mean, it was moving. I had made a video and I didn't put it up. I should go back and find it, showing how cool it is, because it's just vapor.
Nothing's.
Where I had it like right up against my hand.
Okay.
I mean, even like right that close, I could barely even feel anything.
Yeah. I think that's also something that people kind of get confused about is it's vaporization that it's using. So when you think about, again, not to get too geeky, but really smoke, vapor, mist, they're all considered an aerosol, which just means particles are suspended in air. And so it could be liquid particles, it could be solid particles. In the case of smoke, it's just ash and tar and things like that are suspended in air. And that's why it looks smoky, right? In this case, it's essential oils that are in the air. But because it's done at such a small particle size, it doesn't really, it's not like spraying something, right? Like I think a lot of people think of it like a spray bottle, where you're just spraying liquid directly onto the bees. And I think you probably had this experience, Mike, where like your hands don't feel sticky. It's not like you're
they're good
spraying
dry.
it.
It dry, so
yeah.
Oh yeah, I even shot myself. Got back and blew it on my face, and expect to have like a lot of residue in your glasses and stuff. And it's
I have one of the beekeepers, Chris. He's been really cool about testing it, and he's got allergies to. He's got like sensitivities to smoke, and he had a pretty funny video where he's like spraying himself in the face, and all around him, and he's like, "Yeah, it doesn't bother me," right? And
because that's what I do. Funny. Like I'll take my normal smoker, and I'll just like smoke myself down just to get the bees to stop following me back to the house. So I was kind of curious, if I did that, if I would feel it, or because I've done it with like Bee Quick before.
Oh yeah.
when you're good and you're sweaty, and it gets in your pores, burning everything and burns your face and your arms.
Right.
So this is nice. I like soaked myself down, and nothing burnt, nothing itched. Couldn't tell I did anything, and I walked in the house and I didn't smell like a fire, so my wife didn't complain about it as much. So
Well, that's cool. Yeah, there's actually a company. They create a product called like Guardian something or another. It's like it's an essential oil that you actually put on your skin for getting bees to keep off of your skin, and it uses things like vetiver oils and different types of oils that kind of smell smoky and that type of thing. It's kind of an interesting product that they sell, and they also have one for like stings where you can put it on a sting, and the bees are less likely to smell the alarm pheromone that gets injected into your into your skin, the venom. Yeah. So but it's an interesting thing, like you say. Like I think part of it too is it doesn't smell like you don't smell like a smoker after you use it, right?
I can't describe the smell, but it's like it's really faint. There's not much really to it. I mean, yeah,
and we currently have 4 different prototypes. Some are heavier smoky smells, and some are not. Like one has a very strong rose oil in it, and I have somebody that has AZ hives. She uses Slovenian hives, and she's like, please don't use that because because she's indoors with this whole thing the whole time, and the rose oil itself is pretty strong. So, but like I said, we currently have a few different candidates that we're trying to figure out, like which mixture is going to be the best one to go out with. And honestly, I think in the end, we may end up even having, I think we'll end up continuing to improve it over time. Like I'd like to keep the beta test program running where, for you guys to just send out different formulations and see which ones work better than the one that I'd already produced, that type of thing. Right.
So I don't know if I missed it or not. Are you still thinking of doing like a beekeeper mix and then a cutout mix, or are you just trying to do an all-in-one to kind of cover all the bases? Kind of the happy.
No, yeah. So I'll call it an inspection formulation. I've been focused on an inspection formulation, but actually people that do cutouts have been really interested in creating like what I'll call our removal smoke, right? So I've actually had a lot of people that, and there's a couple of different things. Actually, removal professionals, they're the most fascinating people to talk to because they have such an interesting problem set, right? Because first off, you don't want to go into somebody's house and light up a smoker, right? And then secondly, with that, not only are you trying to push bees, out of a space like a crevice or out of a tree, out of a wall cavity, but you're also you also at the end of it you're trying to make it so they don't come back, right? And so a lot of people use like butyric acid and things like that smells like puke, to keep them from coming back. And obviously with a removal professional, you're doing this in somebody's house, and then their house smells like puke for long periods of time, right? So there's a lot of different things like Be Quick and Honey Be Gone and Honey Robber and those types of things that a lot of those use essential oils as well, right? And so I've been looking at, like, obviously bitter almond oil is something that those products use to push bees. And so I do think in time we could create more of like a professional version that is specifically for removal professionals, right? But we're not there yet.
Tom's gonna need a backpack with like the little the spray ones, but it needs to be powered so he can take fluid and just dump in walls and trees. And...
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
like a bazooka, like
yeah.
Hey, Michael, I just went and updated again. I keep climbing up. I am going to have to figure out at least a $400 gift for my wife to match.
Yeah, there you go. Actually, that was an interesting one. Some people have said, like, can you send over a gift card, like a gift receipt, so that I can give this to my beekeeper husband or whatever, right?
Hey, Joey,
Yeah.
I have a really good thought that we could do here with this, and this could help Michael.
I done
If you-
updated mine twice.
If you spent $400 and you did a gift for her, what if Michael developed a pheromone that got her all Twitter pated? You know what I'm saying?
But
And
then
you
I
just
would-
busted in her face.
Yeah, that'd be cheaper.
We could create a formulation for this, Joey, where she just puts it on, and if she's ticked off at you, she just sprays it at you and keeps you away, right? Some people have said that for cats, right? Can you make one that I can spray at my cat when it's ticking me off? Kind of like a spray bottle.
Yeah.
So you sell the 2-pack and you make one of them pink, and she opens it for Christmas. Or you
There
go,
you go.
"Merry Christmas, honey! You're my free labor next year.
That's right.
We have a hobby together now."
Exactly. Yeah.
Michael,
I did
we
this
want him
for
to
us.
live through the winter.
Okay, you wait till spring. It's her birthday.
I can see that none of us in this little chat here are good gift givers for our spouses.
No.
We're all men are
never know
too
what to give.
practical.
No, my wife's simple. It's like, let's go to a concert. Here's concert tickets. I'm done. We're taken care of. No, a few years ago, I got my wife tickets because she's a car junkie too. I forgot the name of it, but it's where you can go to local racetracks and they tour the country and you can drive like supercars. So I got her to go run a track in one of the newer Ferraris. So she got to get on a track and do like 120 in a Ferrari with an instructor.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm covered for a few years now. So because I'll be paying for that for a few more years, but
That's
My
pretty awesome.
wife is gone right now. She's on a trip. Her and her 3 sisters, about 3 times a year, they go on little trips. And the easiest way for me to get over this without getting beat up too bad is when she comes home, I got the camper hooked up to the truck. Tell her I spent an amount of money. Get in the truck, let's go. And she'll be good. She'll forget all about it.
No, she won't.
Yes,
No.
she will, but that's her
It
thing.
doesn't work that way, Joey.
when she comes
That's
home
all
next
I ever
weekend,
hear. When we going on another trip? When we going on another trip?
when y'all are on your trip, she's going to come up with a bag. You're going to go, "What's that?" And she's going to go, "It's
Yeah, you grab the credit card bill as soon as you can when it comes in the mail, for
That's
sure.
right.
I'm the only one that sees the credit card bill, anyways.
Oh, you're good then,
That
man.
Yeah,
Good.
You're
good.
good. You can spend all the money you want.
No
Yeah,
kidding.
and complain to her about why it's so high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
She'll think she did something wrong.
Yeah, it's the right time of year. You sneak in with the Christmas bills. We're like, "Where'd that come from?"
Yep.
Funny.
Well,
We all ran out of juice.
yeah. Now everybody's excited, waiting for May to come to have the
Yeah.
new toy to come in.
Yeah, same here. That's when I'll take my vacation after all this stuff ships. Right?
I
yeah.
might try to do that, Todd. That might work. Michael might need to come up with something like that because we do a lot of camping. I can sit out there in my little chair spraying mosquitoes.
Oh, good idea.
You see,
Yeah,
Todd?
actually, some people have said that they're hunters and they say that they spray themselves with things that might be a good one to create like a deer pheromone or something like that hides their scent.
Yeah, sky's the limit. Once you have the tool, the device, you could make whatever sort of vapor that you
Yeah.
wanted to.
Yeah, there's actually kind of a cool device that you basically can blow bubbles that go on to like drinks and things like that, and it's like, oh,
That's cool.
You could do that easy. Yeah,
Definitely.
kind of fun. And it has like different flavorings that you put in like into the vapor.
I have to say, Michael, I originally thought that this price point of this, when I was thinking out loud, was going to be much higher. So honestly, when I seen it, I'm like, this really isn't that bad, because when you put it in perspective, the only other one that I know of, and I'm not saying that's the only one that's out there, is the Apisolus. And I think, and then if somebody has it here and knows, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you're starting at what, $200 and something?
$300.
Yeah. So I mean, there's my point right there.
Yeah.
And I'm not knocking the other product, so please nobody take that for what this is. For me personally, I didn't see value in the other product. I'm like, it's not really an issue. And like you and I talked, Michael, and I said, the one thing that I would think about that if I'm thinking out loud that holds value to me is, for one, if I'm doing quick inspections, if I'm going to be in the yard all day, I'm probably just going to light a regular smoker. Now, I don't have the same problems that Todd have out in California, that Brian has in Colorado. That is a tinderbox out there. I would absolutely not be lighting an open flame out there, because you're going to burn half the mountainside down, right? So that's completely different. But for me, when I'm thinking out loud, where I would use it, where safety would come into play at, is inside of a cutout. I am absolutely would never use an open flame inside somebody's home and like smoke into a wall or what have you. It's just, you were asking for a lot of trouble. So
yeah, if you know the Appy Bee Man, right? Travis, he was telling me about how he got a bunch of bees out of a cathedral. And it's like, can you imagine burning down a cathedral? It'd be like, okay, I'm just changing my name, moving
that's
countries.
right.
Like I'm gonna
moving to a different continent.
Moving to another continent, because that basically the church is gonna come find me and sue me. But yeah, like you said, it's interesting because I do get some comments on YouTube where it's just like, well, this is for just people that can't figure out how to use a regular smoker. And to be honest, it's a bit reductionist, right? Because like you're saying, like there's a lot of people that are just like, I just don't want to start up I know how to do a smoker, right? I can get it lit and run all day long with it. But if I go over and I say, oh, that looks kind of weird, let me crack that open real quick, rather than starting a smoker that's going to take you half an hour to wait for it to cool down or whatever. You can just do a little puff of smoke, get in there, come back out. That by itself saves you a massive amount of time. And it's funny too, because I never thought about all these different use cases that I get from people of medically, also like using the bellows all day, people that have arthritis and also asthma. But I've also gotten a few people. I talked with the Sustainability in Prisons organization just last week, and I've also talked to some people that work in detention centers, and they actually have beekeeping programs, but they're not allowed to actually create a flame, right? They're not allowed. They don't allow the inmates to actually, it's actually a really popular program in a lot of state prisons and things, where they really enjoy working with bees in the yard, but they're not allowed to use a smoker because that'd be dangerous. And when they do, those rare times that they have an instructor there, they have to have multiple guards come and work with them to make sure that they don't do something crazy with it. And they're kind of like, this would make it super simple, and so we're talking about it, and hopefully we can help them out with that kind of a thing, because again, like like I say, it's a bit reductionist to just say, well, it's just for people that can't light a smoke.
Joey, when you were in prison, is that where you learned how to keep bees?
That's where I started.
Yeah, what is your gang sign, Joey?
Huh?
What is your gang sign?
You spent what, 30 years in prison, Joey?
27
years.
2 months. They
Well, glad you got out.
do a little
Actually,
program like that, and I told them no.
I guess Michael knows the joke on that, right, Michael?
No, I haven't heard that one.
No, well, he was a prison guard. He wasn't in prison.
Okay.
I wasn't the guard. I was a maintenance director.
Oh, okay.
I was a supervisor.
Yeah, so you know how locked down. I mean, obviously, it needs to be, but that is the thing that I said to him is it does look a little bit like a gun. Nobody's gonna get shot, right?
Yeah,
but
well, see, they would
it's banana
probably
yellow.
have more issue with that than they would a smoker where I went.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah, one of the things that's interesting is they're telling me that one of the things that would really need to be looked at is, I guess, a lot of contraband comes through with like liquids that are brought into actually the beekeepers are saying just bringing in sugar water for the bees is really a tedious task in prisons, because I guess a lot of people smuggle things into the water, into liquids. So yeah, that's been an interesting one too. So anyway, but I mean, it's a fascinating, problem to solve. It's just really interesting to me.
Yeah, there's definitely a market for this, I would say. I don't know how many of the Apisolus ones that they've sold, but I would say there's definitely a market here, and it appeals to a lot of different people for a lot of different reasons. Like you just pointed out, Michael. I mean, everything from health conditions. Never really thought about that. If you have asthma or some sort of breathing condition, you're probably not lighting an actual smoker.
Yeah, and actually, NABI, when I was there just last year, that was the first time I'd ever talked to a lot of removal professionals, and that's when a lot of removal professionals came directly up to me and they're like, "Oh my God, I could use this," right? And like you were saying about starting a smoker in somebody's house, it's just not something you think about when you're just a normal, traditional beekeeper. And same thing with like Todd's issue. Like in Chicago, we've got plenty of water. I mean, yeah, the city's burnt down once before, but outside of that, we don't have a whole lot of fires, that kind of thing. We have one of the biggest freshwater sources near us, and we get plenty of rain. But yeah, when I started going onto YouTube, I had so many people from Australia all of a sudden, New Zealand, Texas, California, reaching out to me and saying like, how do I get this right now, right? And that was a surprise to me because, like I say, I was thinking more of it as a convenience type of thing, not so much those different problem sets, right? But it's really fascinating. I mean, it's really interesting to see the problems that people have with the traditional smoker. And I always say, I call this an alternative to the bee smoker. I'm not trying to trash anybody that loves their smoker and wants to use it. I mean, that's cool, right? If you want to use your bee smoker, and and that's you don't have any problems starting it, you don't have any problems. I mean, that's cool, right? Like I think you should just keep using your traditional bee smoker. But there are, like I say, there's a lot of people that do have a lot of these issues. So. So I try not to say it's a replacement because I don't want to make it sound like the traditional bee smoker doesn't have its place, right? I mean, we have horses, we have cars, right? You didn't go out and slaughter all the horses that are out there when you built the car. The people still ride horses and they enjoy it, and it's it's a good experience. But those times that you want to get from here to California, probably getting a fresh horse every 2 hours is not really a smart idea. So
Agreed.
Well, hey, I'm the same way. I've got a little a German bee smoker pipe, and then I don't even know how you pronounce it, Nimker Faith, the little ones you hang out of your mouth and blow. I have it and I use it a handful of times a year. If I'm just going to go, I need to open up one hive and I don't want to light my big smoker. I take that little thing and I just shove the mouth part with my veil and all into my mouth and hold it, and I can sit there and lay down smoke on 2 or 3 hives and call it quits. And it's
that's cool.
Not necessarily practical, but I like using it here and there, and it's a toy.
That's cool.
I didn't realize they had that.
So what?
I didn't realize they had that. It's a German smoker.
Yeah, you see the pictures of the old old beekeepers. It's the pipe that goes through your veil.
Yeah.
I've got an aluminum one with a chamber underneath.
What's it called? Or do you know how to spell it?
An Imker Fife. It's a IMKER, and the last word is PFIEFE, I think. It took me a long time to find. I had to get mine shipped in from Germany.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah,
That's a long definition for a California crack pipe.
Basically,
Yeah.
mine's a newer one. It's aluminum and it's got a little backflow, a little ball valve, so you can't suck it back in. And I don't smoke, but you have to use nicotine in it, like pipe. So I get just the cheapest, whatever, biggest cut I can find at the tobacco shop, and I pack it in because I'm not going to suck it back. Yeah,
There you go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I've got a short barrel one because the big ones get pretty heavy.
Yeah.
So like half that high. It's got little gates on the bottom you open up, but it's it's something I like having around here and there, but I don't actually use it all the time. But it's nice to know it's around.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing when I started working with this. Was I found and it's actually in patents and scientific literature that nicotine is a very good insect repellent, right? So nicotine itself is a really good way to push bees and repel them to different places. Obviously I don't want to put nicotine in the device because it's a controlled drug, but as far as that goes, yeah, that's like you say, there's a lot of Europeans that, you see the old pipes that they used to,
man.
Yeah, exactly.
I had a video on my site before it got crashed, but I've got one somewhere where I show how to use it and light it. And I'll show you like one big puff can do, and I can stand back 10 feet from the camera and you can't see my body anymore. It's just
puffing.
But then it's empty if you do it that hard. It's for light little, tiny little puffing. It's not practical for doing like major hive checks or anything.
Well, there's I think it's the Layens hives or the ones that have the door in the back, that you get your frames out of. They use like the
AZs or
to me it looks like a cigar. They light it and they just blow on it.
Yeah, they also have these strips for like AZ hives and for Slovenian hives where it's like an incense and you burn the top of it. I'd actually thought about making a smoker for it.
I think that's what Charlie's talking about.
Yeah, I thought it looked like a big old cigar that you blew on it like that.
Yeah, and then you can like put it into like a holder and you can blow on it. And it works nicely. I played around with that, just throwing it into a smoker. These incenses that they make, because part of that too is that's a different problem set where like a lot of people that have bee houses, right, or bee huts nowadays. There's people that do these retreats where you can go in and breathe bee air, right, in bee huts. They're looking also for alternatives to the bee smoker because you don't want to burn down your bee hut.
Crazy stuff.
Well, I was just looking at where you are. I'm over here. If you keep seeing me dipping down, I printed out a big thing of the knobby map. I'm finding where certain people are, because I'm curious. So I was looking at where you were. So
do you think it's a good spot or a bad spot?
If anybody's looking for you at Knobby, you're behind the big date amp booth.
Yeah.
Booth number 540.
Go behind the really big date amp booth, and you'll be back there trying not to get blocked out by their displays.
I'm the one that has smoke flying everywhere, right? Out of my
yeah, you're like the only person.
That's gonna be like, oh my god.
You can sit back and smoke all you want, I guess, right?
What's that?
So you can smoke all you want in there, right? It's not open flame. It's
not
like smoking.
No, I actually use vegetable glycerin when I'm there. A lot of times people will be like, "Oh, it doesn't smell at all." And I'm like, "Well, that's this." I call it my demo fluid because I don't want to smoke people. I don't want to use a lot of essential oils, and sometimes people are actually allergic to different floral, essential oils and things like that. So I just use vegetable glycerin like what you'd use in a smoke machine. But yeah, it's funny that every once in a while there'll be somebody that are like, "Oh, I didn't see you at EAS," or I didn't see you at Knobby, and it's like I've got these
all the time.
I may as well be lighting off fireworks. Like I've got smoke coming out of my place. I've got like a light show almost. Like it's hard to miss.
You got to get people to wear T-shirts that say "Follow me to booth 540" and walk around with two hands and just smoking the pile wave.
Right. Yeah. It says smoke them if you got them. Right. 540.
You got nieces or nephews. Like, hey, you want to go on a trip? I walk around finger gunning vapor everywhere. All you.
Yeah, my booth is going to be at the end of an aisle, so I'm not sure. I think that's probably a good thing, but I don't know.
So if storage is up here, you're like right between them and smacked right into the back of Daynamp.
Oh yeah.
I was trying to get lay of the land because I actually want to go by and see some people this year and like before the things get started, since I couldn't do anything at all last year. So I'm trying to find everybody and make my own little route. So when the app goes live, I can crank it all in there and try to squeeze a half morning before the show starts.
Cool. Are you going to go to Midwest Bee Expo this year too?
Yeah, I'll be there. I've got an end cap next door to. I think Bill told me I'm next door to me and Erpenbeck next to each other on end caps.
Oh, yeah, you're close. They changed a couple of booth numbers, but not many.
I'm looking on this. There's some booth numbers I can't find on the Knobby layout. I don't know if they're typos or they just don't exist on here. So I'm not switching and swapping. Some numbers may have got missed or something.
Yeah, mine's 925.
I found you. I've assumed Acorn is going to be around you somewhere, but they're not on here anywhere. But they're booth 930, but there is no 930. Hive IQ straight across from you, which I thought maybe that was where they would have been. Probably just some numbers, some typos somewhere.
I like that idea of the shirts. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Although I think at Navi you're not allowed to give out shirts, so it'd have to be beforehand.
Yeah, it'd have to be. Let's say, are you bringing help with you?
Just my nephew. So he typically helps man it.
Well, there you go. You got one person to walk around just up and down all the aisles once every hour, just jumping,
run around and follow me to the booth. Yeah.
You need to put a sandwich board on him and let him walk up and down the aisles. Follow me to your this booth.
Yeah, we always have candy there. Maybe like drop some bits of candy and
Get one of them stick-on ones and put on back a Cayman's shirt.
Yeah.
yeah. Instead of kick me, it's come to my booth.
Yeah.
Might get expelled. That's the only thing. Yeah.
No, you're not in a bad spot. I'm over in Artist Row like I was last year, so I'm over by the stick paintings and pottery. So.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of felt like last year there was sort of a dead zone, right? It's almost like you come in and you go all the way to the food court from the entrance to the food court, and then you had like this sort of dead zone over to the right, where, like you say, the artists and stuff were on the walls and stuff, and that seemed like it probably didn't get as much foot traffic because you'd have to actually intentionally, like I only walked it once, maybe going back to that kind of back area.
My problem was everybody would pile in the front door because it's right in front of you, and there'd be 40 people in front of you, and you just couldn't talk to more than one or two at a time, and the mob just kind of flows through. It's just, which the way things are laid out this year, I think it'll help. They've kind of stretched it wider, but not as deep, so maybe people won't get as tired going up and down the aisles as easily. And there's less vendors. There's like 30 less vendors or so. We've just got a lot bigger booths. So,
Oh, nice.
like I'm like Apis Biologic is beside me, and they've got 12 spaces. It looks like.
Wow.
Y'all need to bring a couple of extra chairs and put in your booth where old folks like me can come sit down every now and then.
You didn't hear what I told Charlie the other night, did you? You weren't on the
Who, me?
on the live. I'm going to have a table and chairs set up for Charlie and any of the YouTubers that want to come by and sit and sign autographs in my booth.
There you go. See, there's a man thinking about somebody else.
Yeah, I'm probably going to have a dance floor set up for Charlie.
There you go.
See, I was going the opposite way. If you stop by my booth, I want you to at least work for an hour to help people.
Yeah, see, I'm not going to make them work.
I'll give you stuff. I mean, you want to come hang out for a couple hours and talk to people and sign autographs, I'll give you frames. But
So rather than a chair, you get a back brace. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
You say Apis Biologic has a booth there?
Oh, they've got 12 spaces.
Yeah.
Really?
So okay.
Well, I thought they were out of business per se.
Yeah, so did I. That's
No,
what
so
I've been being told.
So I've got a 30-foot, I've got a 10 by 30. Behind me is Hive Alive. They've got a 10 by 30. And on the end cap on one side of us two, Primal Bee's got 6 places. And on the other side of both of us, Apis Biologic has 12 spaces.
There you go.
They're 415. Unless I looked at it wrong. I printed them out. I can't read the little print, so to blow them up so I could read. And I've been ignoring you guys and looking at the website because I still couldn't read it very well. But yeah, they've got a big old massive thing.
I'm going to be curious how Keeper's Hive is going to be because they're kind of on that. So when you come in, they're kind of on that. They've got almost like a circular, like a cul-de-sac type of thing going on, which is
Where are they
a bit
at?
unusual. So I'm going to be curious to see how that works out. But I think it's a good spot for them.
I don't even know
You
what
see 'em
number
right
they
when you
are.
come.
I was trying to find them. I can't find them on here.
When you look at the map, when you find the food station area, like over on I think it's on the right. They're right before that. It's on the corner
Oh, there's the angled booth?
Yeah, it's an angled booth. It's kind of weird.
Oh, okay. 1001.
Yeah, 1001.
Trying to see if they had them on the list on here.
Yeah, booth 415.
Yeah, they've got a big booth.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they took away a lot of the storage area in the back, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know
on
where
here.
they put that stuff now.
I was trying to see who all these big booths were, just out of curiosity. I know some of the people that usually have had big ones last year have really scaled down. Some have really scaled up, just kind of all over the place this year.
Interesting. Do you have the same size booth this year?
Nature's has 10 by 20 booth. That's it.
So yeah, he downsized.
He's behind Premier though, so I imagine they'll all spill into each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Hey,
Premier's got a 20 by 20.
Michael, I found booth 930.
Yeah,
If you look at my end cap 925,
yeah,
and then there's 825 to the left of me,
yeah.
930 is right there.
There's a 932 behind 825.
It's supposed to be 930. Unless they got rid of it altogether.
There's behind, so 825 is Miller. Behind them is an 835, an 837, and a 932, and that's that entire island.
Yeah, on the map that I got, that 932 should be 930.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I say a lot of these I can't find. I bet they're just little typos and things.
Probably.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, I think I'm over by Hyde Butler, and I'm not sure who the other person is on the other side, but
Yeah, Hyde Butler's beside you, and there's like a vitamin company or supplement or somebody beside you that
interesting.
I've never heard of them. Not sure who they are. Yeah, I was like looking for people I know, like Nature's Image. I found Grammys.
Is Hidden Hollow going? Those guys are great.
It's who?
Hidden Hollow.
I haven't come across that yet.
Yeah. I know they go to Midwest. I'm not sure if they go to Abbey.
So you're going to Midwest? Or are you going anywhere else?
Midwest. I'm looking at Beak Meat just because it's
okay.
It's a pretty easy jaunt for me in Chicago up there. I'm actually sending a prototype down to the Texas annual conference for Stan. Stan Gore is gonna.
Oh yeah, I'll
show it there.
I'm leaving Tuesday to go there.
Okay.
So yeah, he's got to come by my booth and pick up some orders of his. So
yeah,
I was just stamping some of his stuff a few hours ago. That's why I'm here working on all the pre-orders for Texas. I had to get stuff stamped so I could get it sprayed before I pack up Monday afternoon. So.
Oh, nice. That's a nice office you got. I like it.
Oh yeah, I'm in the hidey hole. I'm at my drawing computer over here, so my space is back there. Which if you saw it, yeah, you'd be horrified.
So do you have like a trailer to pull all your stuff, or you just put it in a truck, or do you rent a U-Haul?
That's the thing we still don't know yet. So we've got 16-foot trailers. These small shows I've been renting like 5x8 U-Hauls, something just small and light. Tanabe, it's just going to depend on pre-orders. I reserved 8 pallets of storage space. And then with my display I want to do in the booth, I can put 6 pallets worth of stuff in my 30-foot booth the way I want to set it up. But depending on pre-orders, my problem is if I ship too much, I got to pay to ship it back, and then I'm losing money. So it's like...
Or you're making really bad deals because you just don't want to bring it home.
Oh, yeah. It's like... Yeah. I'm not making hardly anything as it is. I'll put the show discounts and paying for shipping. Yeah. So I really need to ship like 8 pallets to even get my pallet prices into the mid to upper 300s a pallet. If I ship less than that, it just goes up to like almost $600 a pallet if I'm only doing 2 or 3. And shipping them back's worse. So it's like, I'm trying to play that balance game of I can pull a trailer and then only ship enough to where I think I could sell it and then haul back my leftovers. Or only take a trailer and try to sell out and really miss out on a lot of people getting to get one to try them out. I mean,
Mhm. Yeah, kind of like some people. I think last year at Navy they were giving out like drone comb, right? Drone comb frames, just as like a publicity type thing. But yeah, I mean, you could do that at the end if you had extra. And just be like, hey, try the product, and you know, have them come back for more.
My problem is they cost so much to make.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't want to give out 1,000
You don't
frames
want
or
to
anything.
Yeah.
I don't mind sending boxes to clubs and people to sample, but after a certain number, it starts to hurt.
Yeah. Joey, do you use a U-Haul or you use trailer, or how do you get your stuff there?
I usually come in my F-350, haul a few things back.
Just load them back.
Yeah, Bill, like, are you pulling all your stuff, trailers, or are you shipping?
I'm gonna have to ship some stuff coming out of California, but the rest of it I'm gonna have to bring down.
Yeah, for me, Navy is really nice because I've got a lot of family in northern Kentucky, and so getting to Louisville from northern Kentucky is real easy. So I just bring it down in like a van, so it's real easy.
Yeah, it's not bad for me without pulling, just driving, no pulling trailers or anything. Before I make any stops, it's about 11.5 hours.
Yeah.
That's about what it is for me.
Yeah, I went to EAS this year, and that was a hike. I mean, that was hard to get there. Had to get a hotel between here and New Jersey and all that. Yeah.
Same. Well, when I go to Midwest, that's about 11.5 hour drive. Well, I can get to Chicago in about 11 hours ish from here.
Mhm.
Hell, it takes me 6.5 just to get to St. Louis, where Tom's at.
Yeah.
So the
Michael.
EMBA show will actually be one of the closer ones I do all year long.
Really?
Michael, 21st. You have booth 407.
Yeah.
How many booth spaces do you have? Like how?
3. It's 30,
Okay.
10 by 30.
Okay, I got you. I'm just looking at the spaces, and I'm telling you, I printed off a version here, but good Lord, I can't.
Oh,
read
yeah.
the print.
I screenshot and blew up and got mine big so I could write on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the print on that's really small.
I can't read that, man. I'm like, holy cow! I got to zoom into my phone, and I'm scrolling around on it.
I never thought I'd complain about print size, but yeah, here I am.
Hey, Bill, what booth are you?
925. I'm in the end cap
Almost all the way to the right, the big one in the middle.
between row 8 and row 10, over by the food vendors.
Oh, I see you. Oh, yeah, you have a big end cap.
Yeah.
What size booth do you have there?
It's like a 20 by
20
30.
by 30, or it's either a 20 by 30 or a 20 by 40.
30.
30.
Yeah.
That's close to where you were at last year, huh? Just further on down or toward the back?
No, it's almost the same spot.
Is it?
Yeah.
Me, I'm just on the opposite side of the aisle where I was last year, and there's a lot of people that are like really close, kind of where they were before.
I think last year I was booth number 918. This year I'm booth number 925.
Bill's can be close to the food court, so when he wants to start buying us lunch, he don't have to go that far from his booth. That's really
There
nice.
you go.
Well, see,
Nice.
that's why you can come by my booth. I hand you a $10 bill and you go get your lunch.
And then we come back and visit with you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can buy a hot dog for that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if they have those brats like they had last year, I'm not eating that. I can tell you. I'll just go without eating all day.
There's supposed to be different food vendors down there this year.
Good.
Okay.
Bill, I'm just going to say we can wait until dinner when Michael 21st is buying us all dinner. We'll get
Oh
some
yeah,
steak.
all those, we could get a steak dinner out of Michael.
Oh, guaranteed.
Hey, if every one of you guys will come by and buy 20 boxes of frames, I'll take you for a steak dinner.
I'll just tell you
I
we bought
might
20.
break even at that point, but
Funny.
no, I've got to go to
Little bitty
the.
steaks.
Yeah.
I mean, Arby's steak nuggets are considered steaks apparently for the
Give
commercial.
him ideas, Joey.
No, we've got to bounce down or walk through the little vendor event thing at the hotel, then go over to the party apparently. So depending on what I'm driving, I might be driving a 18-foot box truck over to the party over there. So Tom might see me roll up and run into their vehicle.
Yeah, Tom, you better save a couple of big parking spots because I'm bringing a box truck this year.
He can park in the yard. I don't care.
So Michael, is Hilco as big as they were last year on that map?
Well, of course.
Yeah.
They shifted around. They've got a big old chunk on the left. So yeah,
They're 111.
They're kind of off to the side. So
yeah,
I think they're right by their storage area. So maybe it'll be easier not having people pushing carts all over.
So they're actually where the food, or I'm sorry, not where the food. They are where. Well, I guess it's kind of where the food was at, where the food vendors and some of the extra storage space was at. That's where they're at.
Yeah, where we came in last year in the overhead doors, they're like right on that path where we all came in the load.
Yeah.
Okay. That'll make it easy to load them.
I can imagine that was by design. He's going to have a banner that sticks up 80 feet in the air. That's about as long as a semi. And, probably for him, he's thinking the closer to the door, the better, because he doesn't need like a premium spot with how much he's going to have going on, I'm sure.
Yeah, when they were putting that thing up, I took a video and I'm like, here's my booth. And then I turn over to my real booth because that thing was like massive. It was like they're building the Eiffel Tower, right? It was an impressive structure.
And the Dant has a bigger booth this year too.
They've got a real big booth.
Yep.
I mean, it's 425. It's at like that whole middle chunk.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Compared to like Man Lake's like a third the size of Daydan's booth, it looks like. Yeah, they're almost a third.
They're almost in the center, kind of offset to the left a little bit, but they're almost in the center.
Do you guys know, do they make their own smokers or do they just get it from like a Chinese manufacturer? I'm just curious. So I think Man Lake gets it from just China.
I know everybody. Seems like everybody I know I've heard says they like the Daydance smokers better than a lot of the other ones, but I don't know where they come from. I've never had a. Well, I say that. I don't think I've ever had a Daydance smoker. I think the first few years, I think I bought some Man Lake ones like shows or conferences because I've had the normal bellows, and I bought one that had the round dome top from somewhere. I probably bought it from somebody. There's a local supplier here that used to be. Then I tried the synthetic bellows, and I like the synthetic bellows on mine. And then I realized with my wood pellets, I needed one of the taller, like the big tall smokers. It's way easier to keep pellets lit really well in the tall ones. It's like you leave that upper half empty, and you really get good airflow moving through it. Which it's hard to do with the short ones. Because the short ones, you lean forward and you blow too hard, you'll pop flaming pellets out. They'll drop into it. So the tall ones, I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to put screens in it. But I've got the one I'm using this year. I've had it in a box for a few years, just waiting till I wanted to go and try it. And I won't say what brand's big booth it is, but that thing, the spring in the back side of the bellows already broke, and it's already rivets are starting to break out of it from opening it. And this is its last year, and it didn't even make it a season. And as little as I check my bees, that's pretty sad.
Yeah. Frank from Let's Be Frank, right? He did a cool thing that I saw in a video where he kind of loosened this up and he can move the bellows, and then he uses the torch directly into the hole, right? Where he packs it and then he just lights it underneath, and it all just it's kind of a cool way to start a smoker. I've never seen anybody do that before, but it's a quick and easy way, I guess.
I haven't done it. I've seen people, if you put the flame on the side of it long enough, depending on if you're using like pine needles, you can get it hot enough to start igniting. But using pellets, I light mine before I even start getting my gear out or get anything going, because you've got to let it really get hot and really build for a while. You try
a lot of those smokers, though, Michael, if you put a torch flame on the side of it, it's going to burn a pinhole in it.
Yeah.
I had somebody that put a comment on. He said, I have a 40-year-old smoker for my grandfather that I use every day in the bee yard, and let's see this one do that, right? And it's kind of funny because like I mean, if you used a smoker that long, the amount of rust and you have a very hot fire going on in a smoker, so that the tin actually starts to degrade. Like you're saying, you put the flame up against the side, you're gonna weaken the metal, right? And so yeah, it's interesting because you definitely should change out your smoker from time to time.
Yeah,
Your traditional smoker.
I've been there, done that. Burn a hole right inside of the smoker.
I mean, nowadays metal's not what it used to be. Just grades of it, like
That's for sure.
I've got some of my dad's woodworking equipment from he used to build do cabinetry, and I use that stuff now. And I'll go to have blade sharpened, and the original planer blades and joiner blades. The guys are like, "Holy crap, where'd this come from?" It's like we can't buy new ones, this harder grade of stuff anymore.
Yeah,
I can buy
steel. Yeah,
I can buy new blades for my joiner for like $15 a blade. Where I've got the originals that are from it that you hardly ever have to sharpen the things; they're so rock hard.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just from the late '80s to now. It's just the newer stuff's just junk. I mean, I just had to send back a whole shipment of 3-inch cold roll tubing where somebody wasn't watching the specs and put too much carbon in it. And I went to bend it and it just crinkles. It's just whatever they're getting coils in, they're just throwing it out there and not paying attention to what they're getting into the mills. It's not the first time I had to do it this year. It's like the third time. Sending 20, 30, 2,000 tubes back at a time. Now I'm out of tubes and I got to wait a month to get replacements because it takes 3 months to order them in the first place. So,
Yep. Hey, Rodney.
Hey, look at that picture of Tom and Melissa.
Yeah,
that's a nice picture.
I mean, Tom's photoshopped that thing. He looks younger and tan.
It says surf more behind him. Didn't know he surfed.
It's when Melissa was happy and didn't know better.
Before she was trapped.
Before he wore her down. She's like, I just give up, whatever. Sure, Tom, you're always right, whatever. I guess I should look at the chat. I haven't paid attention to what's been everybody's talking about.
I see Jonathan said, I see Boris have a hive lifter at Nobby. I heard somebody say something about that.
Yeah, I saw somebody put an ad for one up today on their page a few hours ago or this afternoon.
yeah. He finally came to Nobby.
So, Michael, are you doing pre-orders at Nobby, or are you just doing the Kickstarter to do your initial run, or?
Yeah, it'll be Kickstarter still when I'm at Nobby, and I'll probably try to sweeten the deal just for Nobby, right, during the event. But yeah, outside of that, and then I'll probably transition pretty soon after Nobby into Shopify, right? So people can just order it directly once I'm able to kind of fulfill orders. That's been sort of the tricky part too, is knowing how much inventory to buy, because you know this very well, right? Like hard to predict what the spring is going to be. So.
Hey, I see Uncle Junior asked me something. No, my mini frames, they're not really mini frames. They're like they're deep high, but they're half width. So if you split a deep box in half, that's what they are. They like the true mini mating nukes, where the frames are like this. Actually, so these are my mating frames. Ooh. So this is a deep, and from the top of this edge to this edge is 9 inches. So yeah, minis, like those styrofoam mini nukes, they're not for those whatsoever.
Hey, Mr. JW.
Hey, JW. Thank you, JW.
I definitely don't need to be on the big screen like this.
Okay, now you are. Yeah. So, well, guys, it's getting about 10 o'clock. We've been on the air for 2 hours. Hopefully everybody's got their questions answered. Go to the site which is
Might as well post it one more time, Charlie.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Charlie. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I guess I got the one. Let's see. I just want to make sure I'm in the right section here. All right, it's the one that you posted. Now this is coming up a different. Send me that link again
All right.
if you can.
Yeah, just put it in private chat.
All right, there's the link that you can go to Kickstarter and you can order your pre-order the smoker and get a great price on it. So, you know,
Only what, 5 days left on the first one?
Yeah, I have to look at when it expires, but yeah, it's just a few more days.
4 days.
Overall, it's 12 more days on the
Yeah.
Kickstarter
Ryan
campaign.
from Flower Street ordered his tonight.
Cool.
So,
Yeah, we're over 60 now. That's awesome.
and all that. So, yeah, like I say, I've ordered mine here a couple of days ago and
Thanks, Charlie.
helped out everybody to get this thing up and running. I've been waiting for ever since I've seen it. So that's one for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
Easy and
Thanks, Michael, for
convenient.
showing it too. Yeah.
Very easy and convenient and everything. So, so it's 10 o'clock, guys. I'm going to go ahead and shut the chat down. Thanks for coming in. We will see you tomorrow night on Joey's channel. Me again, Joey, right, Joey?
Yep.
8 o'clock, is it? Or 7 o'clock your time?
7 Central, yeah.
7 Central, 8 Eastern. And then we'll be back on Monday with Bees All Day with Bill and his chat on Friday, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, along with myself. So we will go ahead. Everybody, Michael, Technical B, you can just hang tight. You know.